I don't know, dude. My sense of time is just.
Dude, I'm right there with you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I used to have really good sense of time, and over like the more years I've streamed, the worse it's gotten.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
I could have. You've been at it a lot longer.
Oh my.
I have to work out after this. I cannot wait.
Are you actually gonna?
Yeah.
Did you get like home gym dumbbells? Stuff?
Yeah. They're called power balls.
Oh, that's
Are the
sick.
adjustable ones?
Yes.
Oh, I have those. They're awesome.
Yeah, they seem very
So good for my ADHD.
Anything that I don't have to go, and I don't have to go to like. If I go to the gym, I'll just stand in circles and just walk around and have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just
Workout streams when? Question mark?
Hey, no.
What do you mean? No swole monk?
I've always been worried to do workout streams
Please,
because of
they're too much.
backseaters, for that must be vicious.
Oh, it's probably awful.
Oh, I'll do a push-up. I remember when I did push-ups on stream once. Oh, let me tell you.
Oh my god, I remember
form,
that.
It was terrible in 100 ways.
The
It was
military
actually 6x4.
sergeants come out. They're like, drop your hips, square your shoulders.
I tried to
call that a push-up.
and it wasn't happening.
My grandma could do better push-ups than that, soldier!
And the thing is, and I respect it too. I can't like my adjustment to like form and like it just takes me a bit. I don't know.
Doing 10-hour plus streams and then going and doing that, I'm not gonna lie, that's some built different behavior.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, we'll see how I feel tomorrow.
I did a push-up to prove that I could do it, and I was sore the next day.
I probably would be too, to be honest.
Dude, this is the greatest game I've ever played. I have as many limbs as self-limbs now. This is great.
And stretching fixed it. But it was this awful cycle where, like,
Alright, I'm not doing that. I'm getting rolled.
yeah, not getting better.
Going toward.
Yeah, see, I haven't worked out in about
Sirens is a tier 1.
12 years, so I'm gonna see how much I have.
Oh my God.
I'm not quite sure, so we'll find out. So,
Basically, like, that's starting over. So you might as well be 0 at that point.
but after 12 years, I mean, what are you talking about?
Wait, 12 years? Is that like gym class?
I'm
Just looking for a
class?
reference here. I'm just. Hey, you guys didn't work out in gym class?
no.
Wait,
Wait,
really?
you like lifted weights and stuff?
Yeah, we had okay, so we had designated days during the winter where we had like actual in the weight room gym class, and then you could always opt out of gym class every day and go to the weight room if you wanted.
Oh, we did not
Really?
have
Yeah, I
that.
didn't have that.
Oh,
I remember when I was playing football and we had to do the gym stuff, I would just stand there and not know what to do.
Nobody showed
I was
you?
just like, well, we had 90 kids on my team. They weren't gonna.
Yeah?
Holy.
I didn't know what I was doing
My
at
school was
first.
mostly like sport focused, so had a weight room, but didn't really
I
have.
just stood there and I'm like, what do I do? And then like, but like you could never get on a machine because the gym was like 8 things, so I just sat there.
Yeah, the way to go was always like group up with people and like have like 3 or 4 people rotating through.
Let me tell you what. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
talking to everybody. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, I was ready to really group up with everybody there. Dude, I was. To give you an idea, they asked what position we wanted to play, and I was nervous to tell them what position I want to play, so I didn't say anything. I ended up playing safety, which I liked it, but I wanted to play receiver.
Maybe a little choppy.
I didn't say anything. I just stood there, so I didn't play in safety.
We had flag football, but it always turned into pretty aggressive football. But as long as nobody got hurt, it was fine. The second somebody went down, all the fun was over.
We didn't really play flag football. Like, we had random games. I don't know. I can't remember.
Did you ever have like tournaments type stuff deal, like basketball, football? We had flag football ones versus like another class. There was like certain periods if you were a senior or a junior where you'd get like 1 or 2 periods a day that were like basically off, and we were able to make them line up at a certain point in the year, and so we would have like inter-class competitions, and then it got bad because, like, you know, it's flag football, but we went all out. We had like offensive lines, defensive lines. Like, you're not supposed to be hitting each other, but we kind of were. It was just like oh yeah, no, it's fine. Like, you know, we're going very, very light. But meanwhile, two kids just headbutted each other. It was great. Probably did irreversible damage, but who knows?
I had one time in gym where we were playing like, I want to say it was like not dodgeball, but it was like, what was it? Was it handball or something?
No.
Is that what it was? And I don't know why, but some kid decided to blindside tackle me, and I had to take like 3 weeks off it.
Jesus.
Oh
I have no idea why. I don't even remember, but I was like, it was something. It was like handball, and I was just like, huh? I don't know. It was something where you like threw a ball back and forth or something, and you could like, I don't remember. It was something. I was like, what is that?
I broke my hand in 7th grade, and the teachers made me come.
So I ended up breaking my toe, but it was like I squashed the growth plate.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So I had to wear a steel toe boot because it was like broken.
No, give me my fucking hammer kill.
Like, yeah, you won't be able to play.
This goddamn Sojourn
So what
bitch
happened? How'd you break it during
keeps
the
chasing me
during the
around.
football game or practice? No, I
Grandmaster
broke it while
title
going up to get a
flexing
Dr. Pepper
motherfucker.
because I had 5 minutes in between a WoW raid and I got stuck into the rug.
I love that story.
That was the football season.
We
That
had
was also
bleacher
the last year I
drills
played football.
called the Charger Mile.
I got deeper into
Oh,
WoW.
you want to know something hilariously awful? Okay, this is gonna sound terrible, but so I played rugby sophomore, junior, and senior years. And my senior year, how do I describe this to you in a way that doesn't sound awful? Well, my senior year, basically, my coaches loved me.
My
And like, kind of low-key bullied me into playing rugby my sophomore year of high school. So he always was like super happy I ended up playing. And
the library and write essays about
what the hell?
sports.
But yeah, we ended up playing.
Wait, that's so lame.
We ended up playing a match, and we were looking really, really good for playoffs, and we almost
200
lost.
words?
But we won. I wish I still had photos. We won because like we scored a try within like the last like 2 minutes, and I was like basically the reason we got it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't score it, but I got us like 9 or 10 yards with like 7 people. And if you know rugby, if you have like 7 people in one spot, it's really easy to kick it out to the wing and like score. And so
it was like it was right before,
because of that we ended up scoring.
I want to say the release.
But I kind of like wasn't feeling very good the next day because like I'd hit my head, plus I was sick, plus a couple other things. So I told my coach, I'm like, hey, is it cool if I don't come to practice today? Like, I feel like absolute ass.
Yeah.
And
they'll just give
this
you like
was during my senior year, which also we didn't go to school for. We would your 4th term, you would basically volunteer somewhere if you're passing grades for everything. So I was volunteering at a elementary school. And so I would have had to leave the elementary school to drive to school.
Wow, and I tripped and hit my head off the curb.
I was like, yeah, I feel like shit. If I come, like, I'm not gonna get anything done, whatever.
Really, whenever I wanted
to
go play
like,
WoW.
Yeah, Futz, you earned it after, like, you know, after yesterday. It's fine, no big deal. We're not gonna be doing anything serious today, anyways, right? And so
that happened to me. It was like 1st grade or kindergarten.
Just really quick.
And I was walking out to the bus loop at the end of the day, and it was too heavy, so I fell on my back, and I was stuck there like a turtle.
Wait, that's so cute.
Okay, none of it works. Cool.
They give you so many, like, oh, I got to support. Let's play some Ana. You get so many, like, they give you like 80 pounds worth of books.
Basically.
Yeah, it's so many books. It's ridiculous.
Dude, are these settings cosmetic? Are they not real? Okay, it's fine. Whatever. Point is, though, I didn't go. And he told me, like, oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal if you don't go. We're not going to do anything crazy today anyways, right? They ran fucking bleachers for an hour. And he picked the day specifically that I didn't go to practice. Because, and I quote, you guys are fucked. Flats isn't here to save you today. You guys are running bleachers. Because he'd feel bad because I didn't have the greatest stamina. And playing rugby, there's one, like, you basically have to, like, run consistently, right? So I never played really, really long. I was always, like, a second half sub in when we needed, like, points, right? Because rugby's really weird with that. You can't, like, it's not like football where you can sub in, sub out, sub in, sub out. So I didn't play tons of minutes. When I played, I could go 110. And that was, like, what mattered. And so, yeah, he specifically waited for a day. And I was wondering, because we hadn't run, like, any serious conditioning so far that year, like, since, like, the preseason, in this, like, in the end of winter, early spring.
Oh my god.
Violent.
And I remember the next day I
Wow,
went
that's so
to
much fun. I'll get back into
my place that I was volunteering at because like one of my teammates was with me there,
You
and he
should,
told
you
me
should.
about it. He was like, "Bro, dude, we ran fucking bleachers all day yesterday." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Dude, we literally ran bleachers all day because you weren't there." So I got panicked, and I was like, "Dude, what do you mean? Like I didn't skip or anything? Like I thought he meant like I skipped, and so like they were getting punished."
How do I run on this?
And he was like, "Nah." He knew you weren't gonna be there
haven't
because
heard.
obviously you told him. It's like I told him the same day as well.
I really like this little song.
And he was like, "Nah," because of the way we played, because like we were supposed to be way better than that team, and we weren't, and we barely won. Plus you weren't there, and normally he like, you know, kind of feels bad when like we do like super serious conditioning, and you can't do it. He was like, "All right, dude, we're gonna do it the day he's not here." Yeah, I don't know why that triggered that core memory,
I got
but
so burnt out of that in the classical world.
that was the only time
Focused on perfection.
that I fucked us into doing bleachers, and it wasn't even my fault. I only ever did it one other time, and that was awful. But I will say though, the super giga long conditioning is how I learned I have asthma.
Oh, nice grab.
Because my mom was, I mean, I told you guys this story before. My mom was very convinced that like I'd grown out of my asthma because she like didn't want a kid that had
y'all
asthma.
ever
She was like, "Oh
have
no,
the
like
recorder
that's just something you had
classes
as a kid." And then we were doing long runs,
There's a
basically just
recorder
running around the
and
field
there's,
for like
like,
2
bells
fucking
that you
hours.
can
And one of our captains like came up to me and he's just like, "Don't say a word,
Little
Flats.
martial arts
Just take 2
flavor
hits
in
of
it."
this,
Yeah, you can become like a
you'll feel better."
black belt.
And it was an inhaler, and I was like, "Okay." So I took 2 hits of it, and then I was fucking running like a goddamn gazelle. I felt like a new person. Yeah, I didn't figure that out till like the last 2 weeks of the year though, so that was cool.
I'm so
It was
afraid.
definitely better for college ball,
I'm just with you.
college football, than I was like I understood it. But
I'm tanking.
it was actually one day I went out to practice for football in college, and I forgot to take my inhaler beforehand.
Flats' story time is
And-
usually when this happens, it means he's in a deep story about something.
Yep, you got me.
What?
All right,
You
they have
know,
no
yep,
idea
you got
I'm
me.
into
You
a big
you got me. I'm very deep.
They have no idea.
Anything good?
Yeah, I was. Okay, it kind of was a 2-part story. Basically, someone was talking about.
But you ran bleachers though, so we did hills like in football.
We had hills too, yeah.
Okay, that's what we they were like someone like if someone hecked up or something, they were like, "Yo, go run 25 hills or something," and I'm like, "Oh."
Bleachers was rugby, hills was football, but hills we didn't even did for fucking up. We do that. They were like, "Yeah, we're just doing hills. Yeah, you guys did great."
No, we
We're
did
doing
that
hills."
as a warm up and like a thing. But then if somebody did like if something happened, they'd be like, "Yeah, we gotta do hills. We have to go do hills."
You know what we did in soccer for training and conditioning? It actually scared the hell out of me. So we had these long ass staircases that would go from the basement to the 5th floor of the school. And you basically had to jump up them with 1 foot. And you would start with singles and then you would go doubles. And
eating
I was
shit.
always so afraid of like catching my shin on like one of the jumps.
If you're doing jumps on
I have to
stairs,
run around.
I promise you, I'm eating shit if I'm doing
When I
that.
played soccer, I made you jump upstairs.
oh, 100%. I mean, you know. Yeah, me jumping up and down stairs, I mean, that would go well.
Even back then, I still would have eaten absolute shit. Not like that. I would 100% just like one time be like, "Oh, this isn't that bad," and like not jumped as high and then caught a shit on something, and it's over. You remember gassers or 8-play drives?
Describe it to me, and then I'll know if we did it.
Gassers were sideline to sideline, just running sideline to sideline many
Go
times.
back and forth. End of practice. End of practice.
And then 8-play drives were 10-yard sprint, 20-yard sprint, 30-yard sprint, 40-yard sprint, 50-yard sprint, 50-yard sprint, 40-yard sprint, 30-yard sprint, 20-yard sprint,
Yeah, that
10-yard
was
sprint.
beginning of practice, and then end of practice was the back and forth thing. Like if it was the end of practice, they'd be like, "Okay,
Do
line
that
up
to
or whatever they call it.
start? Nah, that's wild.
Yeah, we started with that. We started with the the sprint part, and then at the end of the practice, we'd have to do the thing where you run all the way across, then all the way back, like 8 times, like you said.
Yeah, we never did that at first. That'd be insane.
Well, keep in mind, it was my first time ever playing football too. So I went I wanted to play football, so I was like, okay, so It was my freshman year of high school, first time playing football, and we're doing like 2-a-days, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Did I tell you about how we used to get around MIA regulations by going to a camp in New Hampshire or Maine?
Do what?
They would send us to this camp. It was called Camp Marist, and you'd go for a week. And it was literally like military-style bunks in the fucking woods. And it was the worst. We were on a lake, but like nothing worked. The showers were all like nothing but ice-cold water or no water. The toilets barely worked. Food was literally like military-style, like giant, like you know those giant like trays of eggs that you make that are like from like almost like powdered eggs. It was the worst. You'd have like 10 minutes to eat. You'd wake up. You'd have practice 3 times a day. You'd have practice in the morning. Then you'd have 15 minutes to hit the lake or like try to take a shower. Then you'd have lunch. You'd have film. You'd have second practice of the day. Then you'd have snack / like small break, more film, and then I don't remember if it was dinner first or then you had your third practice, which was a conditioning practice, and then you'd have food, and then you'd have like an hour or 2 of leisure time in this like literal hut with 60 other people, and I don't remember if you had food after that. Then you had film one more time, and it was like lights out by 9:30. But you were also sticking like 14 to 15 or 16-year-old kids into a bunk by themselves at night, and like no one ever slept. People just fucked around the entire time. You had to be up at like 6 a.m. It was actually the worst, and the state of Massachusetts was like, yeah, you guys are literally violating like you can't do that to kids. And so they made them stop, or they were gonna get sued.
Is this like a summer camp thing?
No, it was our high school football.
Also, hi, Danny.
What?
Hello.
Also, hello. Sorry, I was like, it was a big conversation, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I only ever had to go once. My sophomore year was the last year they did it, and they had done it every year for like the last like 15 years, and then the state of Massachusetts was like, yeah, no, you guys need to stop.
You play like random games and go like water rafting and all this random stuff, and play basketball and climb a rock wall.
Dude, that sounds fun.
It was in the middle of the school year too. It was fun.
You guys had a blast. Oh, I think probably the worst part, which I didn't get to mention, there's like no washers and dryers or anything. So you had to wear the same football clothes for a week straight. And you were practicing 3 times a day. It's not like we had extra pairs. You had like 1 pair of pants. Well, I mean, you had like underwear and like regular shirts and whatever, but like your practice pants, your practice jerseys, stuff like that. It was like the smell was horrendous.
But they're probably just preparing you for what the locker room was going to smell like.
No, that genuinely was 1,000 times worse than anything else.
Was it?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Football games, like, even like it was
Did y'all have like pennies that you had to share? Those always smelled so bad.
Pennies?
Oh yeah, like the practice jersey. Yeah.
I didn't actually own them.
But you had to
Oh,
share?
yeah, you just grab them. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
What?
just
When I
grab-
played.
Yep. Go ahead,
When I played roller derby, we had one of those, and it was like the penny of shit. Like if you didn't bring your practice jersey, you had to wear it, and it was just like there all the time and so gross and smelly.
Yeah, we had those in school for like even gym. Like if you're gonna have a team, you just grab the like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, no, we had individual
They
ones.
wash them like once every 2 years. Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
That was how you got immunity in the old days.
Well, football was like the big moneymaker of my school, so like I guess that's probably why we actually got like our own individual ones.
Not in my school.
They're
They were like
probably
0 and 10.
funny, just from the shows. The shows,
I went to a
the
private.
tickets.
I went to well, yeah, we sold out like every game, but we were like the #1. Well, I mean, we were #1 my senior year, but like we were always like one of the top schools in the whole state, and it was a private school, and they would also. I mean, like, it's kind of illegal, but they kind of did, like, recruiting. Like, they would, like, give scholarships to kids that were, like, in underprivileged areas but were really, really good at sports, so they could go to this really nice private school. And so, like, they would just dominate all the sports.
Hey, one of them's in the NFL right now.
Oh, yeah. One of my good friends who we played together in high school plays for the Browns now. And then I think our senior year, I think we had 15 D1 commits, and then, like, another, like, 12 D2 commits just out of football alone.
Damn. There was only like one kid from my high school that went to D1.
Who is it? I love
and
the
his dad
Browns.
was the coach of the
Mohurst.
team that he
He's one of
got
your D
recruited
tackles now.
for.
We played together in high school.